Hi guys, we are going to be talking about the book To Kill a Kingdom. So if you want to look and see what this book is all about, no spoilers, and what I thought about To Kill a Kingdom, keep watching. Happy Mermay, first off. Welcome to the month of Mermay. Any of you guys who are just tuning in at random, Mermay is the month of May, and basically it is mermaid extravaganza. For those of you guys who love the ocean, or you love mermaids, or you love fantasy, or you love to read about mermaids, or you love to read mermaid fiction, or if you read tarot and you love mermaid decks, however you find this channel, however you found this video and the future videos to come, it's just a fun little thing that I wanted to put together because I feel like this whole 2020 year has been just a little difficult, just a little different from what we're used to, right? So why not have something fun and fantasy to kind of get our minds off of everything else, right? So that was like basically the whole reason why I wanted to do this whole mermaid thing. So I'm here to do a little book review for you guys. I wanted to have like a book review / discussion on To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. So I finished this book a couple days ago and I started reading it. I think it was like the 10th of April. So it took me almost, I think it was like 12 days. No, I finished this a couple days ago. So it took about 10 days to finish this book. Which actually isn't that bad now that I think about it. Although I do feel like I spent a little bit longer than necessary reading it because there were some days where I was like only reading 1 or 2 pages, and then there were days where I was reading chapters. So I don't know how other people go about their book reviews, but I will not be giving out spoilers, okay? Because I know a lot of you guys will find this channel and you probably will never have read this, and you'll probably be using this as, you know, a reason to buy the book. So there will not be any spoilers. There will be very gentle discussion about certain things that may have happened or the characters themselves, but I will not spoil the ending, okay? So To Kill a Kingdom is a mermaid book, but it's more of like mermaids and pirates, okay? So it does have the whole pirate setting. Majority, I would say about 80%, maybe 90% of this book takes place on land. So it's not necessarily a full-blown mermaid under the sea story, okay? And so you have pretty much the 2 main characters. There's Lyra, who is the siren, and there's Elian, I hope I'm pronouncing the names correctly, who is a king / pirate. Or has like the pirate vibe, I guess you could say. I don't know if he's ever really claimed himself to be a pirate, but he takes on the pirate persona. But Elian is a siren killer, okay? And so a little thing about this is it's not necessarily mermaids, it's more sirens. And the difference, which I really liked about this book, is they talked about the differences between the mermaids and the sirens. And it was different from what you normally see. Like, it's totally different from the Little Mermaid version, the Disney version, and very different from other mermaid fiction books that I've read. So a little backstory. Basically, Lyra is a siren. She is the daughter of the Sea Queen. Now, the Sea Queen is, I guess when you're, based on the book, I guess when you reach queen status, you're no longer a siren or / mermaid. You grow the tentacles and you become the octopus queen. Like, so basically I was imagining the way Ursula in Disney's The Little Mermaid. I was imagining that. So that was kind of different also. The other thing is the difference between sirens and mermaids in this book. The mermaids are looked as the nasty, the bottom dweller creatures. They don't look like your typical mermaid, a beautiful woman on top and a fish at the bottom. Supposedly, according to the book, it describes the mermaids as looking very fish-like, very little to no humanity. And the same thing too with the mermen. There's a little bits and pieces about mermen in this book too. And they describe them just the same way. Lack of humanity. They're like flesh eaters is what they kind of call them. And the sirens are the ones that are looked at as the beauty, half human, half fish. And they have different color eyes. And one of the eyes, like, depending on the color of the eye, signifies what community of mer people or siren people in different oceans and waters do they live in. So it's kind of cool how that is. And then what else? Oh, so the thing about the sirens is, like in the basic folk tales, the fairy tales, is the sirens sing to lure the sailors from their ships, and they drown them or whatnot. Similar, the sirens in this book do the same thing, but they steal the hearts of the humans that they capture. So they do the whole singing to lure them from their boats, and they drown them and they rip their hearts out of their chests. So it's very, very different. It is not your typical Little Mermaid book. It is young adult. I believe this is young adult, and I would say it's very age appropriate. There's no steamy sex or anything like that. So those of you guys who are, looking for information like that, it's definitely a clean book, very age appropriate. At least in my opinion. I mean, I've read some crazy books, so I don't know. I think it is appropriate for any age to read. Although the descriptions of ripping the hearts out and whatnot, yes, it could be a little bit much. So some of you mommies out there or daddies out there who really wouldn't want your children reading about things like that just yet, I may say, yeah, there are little bits and pieces there too. But as far as like sex and all of that, there isn't anything, at least that from what I can remember, there isn't anything about that in this book. But like I said, the majority of the setting of this book does take place on land. So if you're looking for a mermaid book that is mostly underwater to give you like that underwater experience, that mermaid feel, this may not be one that you would enjoy. I was a little bit sad to see that the majority of the book did take place on land, because the whole point of me wanting to read mermaid fiction is to escape the world, right? To escape the world setting and like be immersed in underwater in an underwater wonderland. So that was a little bit I would say, like, it kind of disappointed me just a little bit. But overall, if I were to rate this book between a 1 and a 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, I would probably rate this a 9. I did enjoy it. The fact that I finished it says a lot, because I'm one of those people where if I'm reading a book, I could be midway through, I could be almost done. If I don't like it, if I'm not feeling it, I won't finish it. So I am one of those kind of people. And so the fact that I did finish this says yes, I did enjoy it. I do wish that it was a little bit more darker in nature than what it really was, because I feel like you could have gone that route with this book, especially with the sirens being very like ripping the hearts out of their captors. So I feel like it could have gone a little bit darker, but I think the author, because she is reading for an audience of young adult, which is usually 13 to 17 in age, probably why she didn't go that route. But now it makes sense. Now that I noticed the cover, it makes sense why there's tentacles, octopus tentacles on the cover, because when I first saw that, I was like, oh, okay, maybe there's octopus tentacles because it's just a mermaid themed book, but it actually has significance. So there's significance with the sword, there's significance, with the cover. Beautiful cover. I have the paperback version, and the book itself, in case you guys are wondering, it is 342 pages. So I read this in about 10 days. Like I said, people who read faster than me could probably read it in like 1 or 2 sittings. But it took me a little bit longer because I was, you know, busy doing other things. But overall, I did enjoy it. I wouldn't say it's 100% mermaid book. Like I said, it's probably 90% underwater. The rest is on land, a pirate setting. So it's very much a pirate feel to a book versus just mermaid. But regardless of that, it didn't bug me too much. Like, I still enjoyed it. I did really enjoy it. So I don't want to make this a whole long video. I just wanted to get on here and tell you guys what I thought and how I thought about it. And I really enjoyed just the descriptions of the sirens versus the mermaids. I really liked the descriptions of how the author described the way the characters were. You really felt like you knew them. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. Oh, the other thing I really liked, the way that the author did this is each chapter, it's like every 2 chapters, you get the perspective of Lyra, which is the siren, or you get the perspective of Elian, which is the siren killer / prince, right? The son of a king. So you get both perspectives. And I really like that because I think it gives more depth to the story than just having the single perspective of one character. So I really enjoyed that too. And if you're into that kind of thing, that's how this book is laid out. But other than that, you guys, I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoy it too. Just in case you wanted to see again, this book is called To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. I don't think it is a series. I believe this is a standalone novel. So if you're looking for one simple little mermaid / pirate book to read, this one will be a really good one for you guys to choose. So happy reading. Love you guys. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, my loves.